Hey guys, I'm getting ready to go on a little bike ride, so I hope you'll join me. Got a few things to talk about along the way, and if all works out, I might even find a little spot to try some magnet fishing. Today, I'm taking my Lectric XPeak 2.0 e-bike out for its longest ride yet. Unfortunately, there are no cool rail trails in the Lafayette area, so most of my local riding has to be on the roads with traffic. I've added one upgrade to the XPeak. I installed a handlebar riser to lift the handlebar a couple of inches so that I don't feel like I'm constantly leaning over to ride. My next upgrade will have to be a new seat, because I found out on this ride, the so-called comfort seat that came with the bike is not at all comfortable. One thing at a time. For now, I'm just enjoying being out on the road and getting some exercise. My mission today is to take some back roads out about 12 miles from my home to a public access site on the Wabash River, where I'm going to finally try out magnet fishing. We're now coming up on the Evonik complex. Evonik is a German company that makes pharmaceutical chemicals. And if I remember correctly, this particular plant here in Lafayette makes components for the mRNA vaccines and such. But it used to be Eli Lilly. For decades, this was an Eli Lilly company. And I believe 2020 or 2021, Evonik bought out the complex. So that's about what we're getting ready to cruise by here. So there's your main plant for Evonik. Longtime employer here in Tippecanoe County. All right, we got some downhill and curves coming up. It's always the fun part of a ride, isn't it? I'm just coasting and I'm already over 20. 24 miles an hour, 25 almost right there. Whee! Yeah. I am applying brakes to stay under control. Now, there's a creek right here. It's got a nice little wetlands area, but not really anywhere to stop and enjoy it. There's a nice cross track. Of course, talking about Evonik here in Tippecanoe County, obviously this is also where the Subaru plant is at, which has been my employer for almost 34 years now. So, some big names, I guess you could say, have some plants here. Also like Caterpillar, Wabash National. Obviously the county's largest employer is Purdue University. And speaking of Purdue, Caden goes back to class starting tomorrow. This is the end of his summer. It's not been our best summer, that is for sure. We had, he had summer classes that he took. By taking those classes, he was going to be able to finish his minor in entomology, something he really wanted. There's a creek. So he completed those two things. Another car? All right. So, he got his classes out of the way. I did take my little individual trip down to the Smokies for a few days there in July. He still was in classes at that time, but other than that, it's been a very, I'm not going to say uneventful. It's been eventful, just not in the best ways. Also in July, I had to have a basal cell carcinoma removed from my nose. So I had a huge scab on there, and I've still got a scar on there that'll probably last me the rest of my life. And Caden's grandma on his mom's side, she'd been fighting health issues for a while now, and she finally passed. So we've had to kind of deal with the emotions of that. And then, of course, just not even 9 days ago, Caden and I had gone out for dinner and to catch some live music here in town. And on the drive home, which was only like 10 blocks, somebody ran a red light and hit us, spun us around, pretty much totaled our Subaru Crosstrek, our big adventure mobile for these last few years. So, yeah, eventful in the wrong ways in some of it, that's for sure. But we always come out on top. Caden starts classes back tomorrow. And I don't know, I look forward to the cooler fall temperatures personally. I'm on this hill now and traffic on behind me and in front. Thank God for e-bikes, or I would be walking this bike up this trail or up this road right now. Gives you a little extra help. I just don't want to burn up all of my battery because I still have to drive all the way back, you know. Hope this truck can get around me. There he goes. All right. There's really just nowhere good here in Tippecanoe County to ride your bike that isn't right in the middle of traffic. We do have Prophetstown State Park. This got maybe 4 miles of bike trails. There are maybe 3 locations for mountain biking, but I'm just a little bit too old for that. So we're kind of stuck to the roads or packing up your bikes and going elsewhere, which is something I will be doing. But for now, I'm just kind of trying to get out here and enjoy the ride, get some fresh air as much as you can in the countryside of Indiana. And of course, today is a little bit cooler day. The cooler Canadian air came in last night, got the temps outside down to the high 50s. I don't think we've seen that since probably May. So that was nice. Classic Indiana right here. Narrow country roads surrounded by corn. Ooh, look at me, I got me a vulture here. Hi, buddy.
Continue on West 75 South for 2 miles.
I am riding in pedal assist level 2. I've been trying to keep it low just because I really don't know how long of a range these get, you know, in the different settings. They like to advertise this one up to 80 miles, but that's with perfect conditions, of course. 150-pound rider, which I am not, in PAS1, perfect level conditions. So I know I'm not getting 80 miles, and most people tell you to expect about half that. And I'm not sure if that half that is with full assist or just mixed assist. So I always got that range anxiety, you know. But I'm sure I will have more than enough to do the 22, 23 miles I'll be doing today. But I want to save most of the power for the ride back, so I might need it. They don't care. Eat away, cows, eat away. At least, unlike out in the West, you don't typically have to worry about them being out in the road here. They paid attention. So here we are at the Granville Cemetery. The Weoh Plains. If I can stop here without wrecking. So the Granville Cemetery was once part of the Great Weoh Plains and still contains many species of the original prairie vegetation. This is one of the last remnants of the Indiana prairies that covered much of the Tippecanoe County. It is preserved and managed as a memorial to the Indians and early settlers to whom these grasses and flowers were once familiar. That's pretty fascinating right there. Indiana's actually got a whole lot of really old cemeteries. This is definitely up there with them all. Fascinating. That's a little stop that I wasn't even aware of, so just never know what's out in the countryside and what you find. I'm now in the area of the ghost town of Granville. Granville was a town that sprung up right here on the Wabash and Erie Canal. So the Wabash Erie Canal will be right down here beside the Wabash River. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see it or not, but this was once that old canal town. Heading up on the bridge up here to go across the Wabash River. Now that'll be the end of my directions down here, but I have to go around a little ways to get down to the actual river. So there's the mighty Wabash right below us here. Hopefully I'm capturing some of that. It's actually a little bit low at the moment.
Your destination is on the left.
All right, cars behind me. Now I'm going to have to get over up here. Nothing right now, so I'm just going to swing on over and get ready for my turn to the Granville Public Access. All right, that wasn't so bad. So the public access here is really just all it says. It's a gravel access to get to the river so that people can put their boats in or whatever. Like I say, I have a feeling this right here is probably part of the old canal from the Wabash Erie Canal days. I'm guessing this is part of it. It's still a stream. I've not seen anything else here that looks like what could have been a canal, so just part of the Indiana history. I have driven back here a few times, mostly just to take pictures of my car. If you've watched my video from almost 2 years ago now, about the 24 Crosswreck Wilderness and what all differentiated that model from the previous models. This is where I filmed that. Not that I expect anybody to have, from my channel, to have watched that. Just a few Subaru enthusiasts, I assume. All right, a little circle drive back here. There's the bridge we just crossed. Straight below us, the access, boat access for the Wabash River. Now, like I said, you can tell that it's a little bit low right now. It's funny, it's been a really wet summer, but you wouldn't know it at the moment. All right, let's check this out. So if I did mention it before, I am riding my Lectric XPeak 2.0 today, e-bike. This is its first, I don't know, long distance test, I guess you could say. I'm not sure. In the e-bike communities may not consider this long distance, but as long as I've taken it so far. So Wabash River here in the Granville Public Access. I can actually see down there blue herons along there. So one of the reasons I wanted to come down to the river is to try out magnet fishing. Now I have a little magnet fishing kit here that my daughter actually gave me as a Christmas gift something like 3 years ago, and it has been sitting in the back of my vehicles ever since then. on our road trips and everything, meaning to do this and try it out. And we're just always in a big hurry, or I don't think about it. So I thought, you know what? This is a perfect excuse to take me a bike adventure here locally. Come down here and just toss this thing out a little bit and see if there's anything we can drag in. It'll leave it to me to make it a big old tangled mess and make everything harder than it needs to be. I'm not real sure how long the rope is on this one. I'm not sure how deep the river is as far as how far I can throw it. I know it doesn't look terribly deep here on this side, but of course, how far I can throw it is the bigger issue, because my chest is still hurt. Even though that accident was something like 9 days ago in the car, in the Subaru, I had to go and get x-rays done and everything on my chest because of the pain I'd been feeling from it. It's the first couple of days I didn't think it was that big of a deal, and then it just kept not going away. So I got it all checked out, but there's nothing broken, nothing significant other than just swelling, and it's mostly from just where the seat belt was across my chest, and all the impact, you know, all of your weight going, I guess couldn't have been doing a maximum of 30 miles an hour, but still it's just that sudden immediate impact. So I bruised up there, and I still feel that, but not that big of a deal. Anyway, I'm making this way more difficult than it should have been. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be able to throw all this, so we're just going to do it and see what all we get back. You never know. I've seen people in videos find bikes that have been dumped in the river or getting washed down the river. Seen them find guns. Seen them even find tops of cars and stuff. You just, I don't expect to find anything like that. I don't really expect to find much of anything, period, but screw it, guys. I'm just going to throw. I bet I could wind it up and sling it out there too, but for now, I'm just giving it a big old heave-ho. Yeah! Makes a big old sploosh. Once again, you just start slowly dragging them in. If there's anything metal, it'll grab it. Being right underneath this bridge, unlikely I'm going to find much of anything. Probably nothing at all, but I can't tell you how strong this magnet is. Again, it was a gift. I'm not positive the strength, so it's probably not going to grab anything major, if anything at all. Now we got nothing off of that one. Well, I shouldn't say nothing. There's some tiny little rocks that are apparently magnetic, or got metal in them. Let's see what we can do here. Whee! It got stuck on me. Yeah, like I say, there's a lot of little rocks that must have some metal in them, you know, because they're sticking to the magnet. But I'm not finding much here just in that little spot. I might move downstream a little bit if I can. That didn't work out very well. After about a dozen times of throwing the magnet out in the river, I finally realized this is just not a good location for magnet fishing. Being a boat ramp, the bottom of the river no doubt gets a lot of action here, but I can definitely see the attraction of this pastime, and we'll give it another try in more optimal areas in the future. So it's really a lot like real fishing. You gotta have a lot of patience. A lot of times there's just nothing biting. I'm not getting anything here in this location, but I'm sure in this river there's something to be found. So maybe next time. Till then, I gotta hit the road. All right, cool little adventure. Biking all the way down here to the Granville Public Access. The first time of trying to magnet fish, not the best spot for it, let's be honest. It's an area that has a lot of boats going in and out of it. Plus, just right underneath that bridge means there's just a lot of current that goes through there. And if there's any trees or any obstructions, they always have to go in there and pull it out. But anyway,
1,000 feet, turn right onto Baseline Road Division Road.
yeah, I know where I'm going. So anyway, I think it's definitely got me interested in going to some other locations to try the magnet fishing out. And it's kind of nice to have this little Lectric XPeak 2.0 e-bike that can take me on these kind of little adventures. So, gotta get back home. It looks like I've got plenty of battery life, so I can crank up the pedal assist when I need to. Just kind of enjoy the ride back now, huh? Thanks for coming along. They speak my language. Since this is the first time I've really taken the bike out on the open road, I switched the settings into Class 3 mode, and with plenty of battery life, I kicked it into the highest pedal assist level to see what it's got. Miles. 31. All right. Beautiful area there in the wetlands. Now it's time for a hill climb. Full pedal assist 5. Let's do this. This is the whole reason I got an e-bike, to be able to climb hills without killing myself or having to get off and push. Back up here at Evonic. All right, that hill's all right. Very, very doable. Like I finally started to drop a bar or two on the battery. So the battery's got a lot more juice than I give it credit for, so that definitely eases my battery anxiety a lot. Thanks for coming along on my ride today. And if you would, go ahead and give a thumbs up on the video. It really helps my content get pushed out there to more like-minded viewers. Until next time, peace.